On page 74, we're going to talk about whether or not clause and past perfect tense. So do you remember last time we talked about clauses? There are three different kinds of clauses. We have noun clause, we have adjective clause, we also have adverbial clause. So totally we have three different kinds of clauses. And these clauses can be used in many different ways. And one of the clauses we talk about here is whether noun clause. So in the first example over here, you can see that whenever you're going to try to make a sentence over here, if you are not sure about the content which is followed by the verb, you can use the word whether or if to tell people you are not sure about something, whether it's this way or not this way. So take a look at the first example over here. Is that will he find a solution to the problem? Okay, so in the first example over here, so we're going to talk about I wonder. The first example, right? So Steve is wondering. So in the first example we have over here, we're talking about if Steve is wondering. Do you know the word wonder? What does it mean? Wonder. Well, wonder can be a noun, it can be a verb. If it's a verb, it means that you want to know something. Okay? That's the meaning of the term wonder. And also, it could be a noun. For example, there are 7 wonders in the world. What does it mean, 7 wonders? The wonders over here means that they are very wonderful buildings or something which will attract a lot of people in the world. Okay, so 7 wonders in the world. 世界什么奇观？
七大。
七大，好像现在是8大，对不对？7大奇景，7大奇观。Okay, so the wonder over here is used as a noun. So we have different part of speech of the word wonder. It could be a noun or it could be a verb. Okay, so the first example. It says that Steve is wondering, means that Steve wants to know something, okay? And over here, what is that something he wants to know? Will he find a solution to the problem? So notice that we are trying to answer the question, will he find a solution to the problem? When you answer this question, you're going to start by saying yes or no in the very beginning of the sentence. So when you are trying to put a sentence after wonder is a verb over here. So before you are going to write it down, you're going to write down the word whether. And then in the statement, you're going to write down the subject first. So whether he will, and then find a solution to the problem. Okay, so that's the first example over here. Steve is wondering whether he will find a solution to the problem. We can also use if to replace the term whether. And notice that it will be slightly different when you are trying to reconstruct the sentence right after the wonder. You have to write down the subject first, and then will. Instead of writing down will he, you are supposed to write it in a statement. This is what we call a statement. A statement means that you are going to tell people somebody did something. So this is what we call a statement. You tell me who the agent is first and what action has been done over here, instead of using an inversion. Inversion means that is he a student? It's an inversion. He is a student. It's a statement. All right. So whenever you're going to use whether noun clause, it should be followed by a verb. Mainly, most of the time. I mean, whenever you see a whether noun clause, mostly it's right after the verb. Okay. All right. So that's the answer to the first question. We're going to move on to the second example here. Is that can Mike come up with an effective solution? And we're going to start a sentence by we are not sure. Okay, so we are not sure. In this case, we are not sure, or we aren't sure. So the original sentence is, can Mike come up with an effective solution? So it's a yes/no question. Once again, we're going to use the term if or whether. Try to start a sentence. It is used as a conjunction over here. So whether Mike, in this case, you no longer write down can first. Whether Mike can, and then continue the sentence, come up with an effective solution. Okay? Do you know the word effective? Effective. Effective. Anybody know? 错误吗？错误是 error。E-R-R-O。这是错误。有效率的 okay? Means that you can finish something in a very, very short time, then you are effective. However, if you cannot finish something in a very short time, then whatever you're doing is ineffective. The antonym of the word effective, you simply put in, so it will be ineffective. Alright, so we talk about effective. When you are studying, I hope that you should be effective in your study. Otherwise, you will feel very tired and get bored easily. So if you don't want to study, take a break. But if you are going to study, concentrate on it. Make it effective. Alright? Okay, so that's the first one we'll talk about is the whether noun clause. You can remember one thing, because last time we talked about different noun clauses. Whenever you see a noun clause, most of the time it is followed by a verb. Okay? And when you see an adjective clause, it always, 100%, an adjective clause is always followed by a noun. It is used to modify a noun. However, a noun clause like 80%, you will see that they are followed by a verb. It's not 100% that they're always followed by a verb, because there is a possibility that they are going to appear in front of the verb. That's another possibility for a noun clause. However, if it is an adjective clause, whenever you see an adjective, it is always followed by a noun. Alright, get a picture? Okay, so that's what happened here. So just like I said, 80% you will see that whether noun clause is followed by a verb. However, there's still some possibilities, and you can see the second example here. The whether noun clause is served as a subject in this case. So in the second sentence pattern over here, you're going to see that we're going to use the whether noun clause, in front of the verb. Okay? So this is much more common than this sentence pattern, but there is still a possibility that you're going to make a sentence like this. I'll give you some examples over here. Okay? So the first example is that, does Kyle like me? And then in the second example, he said, it doesn't matter at all. So in this case, we're talking about whether, okay? Because in the first example, is this still a yes-no question? So try to form a yes-no question. You're going to start by saying whether. So the first example over here, we're going to write down whether first. Whether. And remember that you are going to do it. Whenever you see the term whether, it is supposed to be in a statement, not in an inversion. So you no longer write down the term does. You're going to say whether Kyle, right? Okay, yeah, that's right. Whether Kyle, and then like or likes. Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much. whether Kyle likes me. Well, this is the subject we're talking about, right in front of the verb, and then we say doesn't matter at all. Okay, so it doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter at all. Okay? So the term matter in this case, it's a little bit different from what's the matter with you. Okay? There are two meanings of the word matter. One of the possibility is that, hey, what's the matter with you? Means that, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? So in this case, what's the matter with you? It means that, what is happening to you? What is the something that is troubling you, or what is that something make you confused? What is that something make you unhappy? Okay, so what's the matter with you? Matter over here means the thing that is confusing you. So what's the matter? The matter over here is a noun. It's talking about something which makes you unhappy. However, this matter is different from this matter here. The matter over here means that something has to do with another. Okay? So maybe all the time you will hear the term, it matters. Or maybe it doesn't matter. For example, if I borrowed a pencil from her, and when I was writing, I accidentally broke her pencil, and I said, oh, I'm sorry. Then she said, oh, it doesn't matter. What does it mean? 没关系, okay? So matter over here is the verb. 这个是有关系的，这个是本身就有关系啊。So it doesn't matter, 那个是没关系的。Okay? Alright? So over here, it is a verb. Means that this thing doesn't matter at all. When you see the term not at all, it conveys a special meaning. It means that to the least degree of something. Okay? For example, I don't like English at all means that, oh, it's to the minimum degree English. Whenever I see it, I want to kill myself. Alright? So not at all. Okay? So it doesn't matter at all means that I don't care at all. Okay? So that's the first example here. Take a look at the difference between the first sentence pattern and second sentence pattern over here. Most of the time, whether noun clause is followed by a verb. However, there's a possibility that it will precede the verb. Okay, so there are two different types of noun clause in this case. And then let's take a look at the example number 2 over here. Will our flight be delayed due to the coming typhoon? It bewildered us a lot. Okay, so there is another word called bewilder. Bewilder. Well, bewilder is a verb. It is the word that you have learned before. Like this one thing which is very similar is confused. Do you know what confused means? When something confuses you, it means that you don't know what to do, or you totally have no idea about it. So you can also use the word bewilder to replace confused. Well, you can say it bewildered me means that I don't know what to do at all, right? So bewilder means that to make somebody confused. Okay, so that's the word bewilder. Okay? You can get it somehow. Okay. Alright, so the question over here, will our flight be delayed due to the coming typhoon? Okay, do you notice that there is a term refers to the reason? It is followed by a reason in this sentence. So what is it? What is the term used to refers to a reason? For example, if the teacher say, why are you late? Well, I am late because of the traffic jam. So you can use because of to tell people about the reason, right? So is there any other words that you can use to replace because of? Thank you very much. You can see there's a term called due to. So we can say due to, owing to, because of, on account of. Alright? So these are very common terms for you to give more information on the reason of doing something. Okay? So this is a very common one. I hope that you can remember often. The easiest one you have learned before is because of, alright? But you can also say owing to, or due to, or maybe on account of something. Or as a result of something. As a result of something. The following information over here, it could be a noun. However, if it is an action, you have to make it into a noun. So you are going to use the term German up here. This too is different from I want to see a movie. It's different from that too, because the two over here serves as preposition. Okay? Of preposition, no problem. However, the to over here is also a preposition, so you're going to use gerund instead of using to do something. Okay? Alright? So these are the different terms for you to support your reasons on something. So you can use because of, owing to, due to, on account of, as a result of. Please remember it. Okay? Alright. So another question over here that I want to ask is about, do you know what the difference between because and because of? What is the difference? You can give me an example in English or try whatever. You can speak to me in Chinese and English, no problem. However, I do hope that you can practice your English with me. Okay? If you want to give me some good examples, just go ahead. If you don't know how to say that something in English, just tell me in Chinese, this is okay. I want to encourage you to speak up as much as you can. Okay? So what is the difference between because and because of? Maybe you can come up with some sentences or explain to me in Chinese, whatever. I don't know. Just try it. What is the difference? Anyone will give it a try? Because and because of 有什么差别? You are too shy. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Alright? If you say something wrong, it's okay because you are a student. Right? If you know everything, then you are not here. You'll be sitting here. I'll be sitting over there, right? Yeah, so don't worry that if you make a mistake. Think about what is the difference. Because of. Should I give you some hint? Some tips? Yes? Okay? Because is followed by a sentence. It must be a subject, it must be a verb, somebody did something, then we use because. Because of is followed by a noun or an action. There is no subject. We're not talking about somebody did something. We're going to give you the reason only is something. That's the big difference between them. Alright? Okay? I'll give you some example. For example, I am late because I was stuck in the traffic. I was stuck in the traffic is a sentence, so I'm going to use because. I can also say I was late because of the traffic jam. So traffic jam is a noun. I didn't say somebody did something, right? So I simply use because of. That's a slight difference between them. Okay? So if you overslept. You know overslept? No? When you say over something, over, like overact, overfish, oversleep. If you say over something, it means that you did it too much, then it's over. For example, overfish means that when you are fishing, you should let the small fish go. If you overfish, you're going to catch every single fish out of the sea. The next year, there will be no fish for you. So don't overfish. Understand me? So if you oversleep, it means, oh, you sleep too much. Okay? Especially on the weekends, you don't have to go to school the next day, so you will probably oversleep. However, when you oversleep, you find out, okay, I sleep for like 12 hours, but feel even more tired. Try that, yeah? So sometimes, maybe you shouldn't oversleep. So if I say, I was late because I overslept, or should I say, I was late because of I overslept? Which one is correct? Because, right? I was late because we're talking about somebody, overslept. Okay? Alright, so that's what we have here. A little difference we have. Okay, so question number 2, once again, he said, will our flight be delayed due to the coming typhoon? Because the coming typhoon, uncountable coming typhoon, whatever you can change the terminal here. This is a very important phrase and you should keep in mind. Okay, so and then it says that it bewilders something. Okay, so if you want to put the 2 sentences together, what is that something that bewildered you a lot? It should be what? Anybody want to give it a try? 童心，你先来好了。想说啊，不好意思，我叫太大声了。来，童心来。两句合并在一起，你会怎么重写？
Whether the flight will be delayed.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Whether our flight will be delayed
due to coming typhoon. 直接讲啊 bewildered.
对，那个 it 就不要写了，因为那个 it 就是这一句话了。Okay? Yeah, very good. So bewilders a lot. Okay, so the answer to this question, you're going to tell people about what is bewildering you first. So whether the flight will be delayed due to the coming typhoon. Well, or not is optional. You can write down or not, or you can forget about or not, it doesn't matter. And then bewildered. This is the base form, so you have to put ed over here. Bewildered us a lot. Alright, so whether our flight, sorry, I missed one word. When our flight will be delayed due to coming typhoon, bewildered us a lot. Okay, so there's another word is called delayed. So what is the difference between delay and cancel? Do you know the difference? Yeah, cancel means that there's no flight today. Delay means that, yeah, that's right. It probably won't be like 1 hour later or 2 hours later. Anyway, you will still get on your plan, right? But if the plan is a flight, it's canceled, means that, okay, you cannot get. Okay? For example, if there is a baseball game and you bought a ticket, so you want to see the baseball game. However, it starts to rain cats and dogs, so they decide to cancel or delay the ball game. Cancel, right? So when they cancel the ball game, but you already bought a ticket, right? So how can you, so next time if they're going to hold the baseball game, you can go there because you didn't see the ball game this time, right? So they will give you a rain ticket. So you know what a rain ticket means now? Okay, I have a ticket to the ball game, right? But because it rained, I didn't see the ball game, so I can use my ticket to get the rain ticket. So I can still access to the ball game next time. So it's called rain ticket. Now you know what it means. Rain tickets is a ticket which is because the game was cancelled, so you can still have a rain ticket to see the ball game. Alright? Okay?
它的中文是什么？
我们中文有这种看法。
那什么意思啊？
你不要翻下雨票。
它是下雨天，然后又给你另外一张票，所以意思说他叫你下次看还是这次要看？
下一次就同一场比赛，这场没看到，对不对？对，下次看。我不知道。
它有延后比赛。
对啊，延后票还是什么票？对，我不知道这个中文有没有一个官方的讲法啊？但是他们老外就直接讲说这叫什么 rain ticket 啊？你看那个网络上有那个写，好，这个是另外一个中文哈。好，你记得due to owing to 这个务必背起来啊。那后面加的是名词的对方面 ，because 你要把它提升到句子的，那写什么票？好，没关系，我们知道是什么就好了，好不好？那就是因为这个第一语言跟第二语言之间真的差异太大，他们想逻辑跟我们想的不一样啊，好吧？来，这个是第二个，所以 now we know that whether noun clause can be an object, can be a subject. In this case, the whole sentence is followed by a verb, so this case is an object. Okay? So if it precedes the verb, then it is the subject that we talk about. Okay, so that's different ways we do it. 80%, 20%. There's still a possibility. Alright? Okay? Just like we talk about, there are 3 different kind of noun clause. Do you remember that? 雨桐，你先来。我们上次说3种子句，对不对？对不对？
什么名词？
辉的这种是什么子句？辉的这一种，看标题。名词子句，对不对？名词子句摆哪里？80%都在动词的，很少会出现在动词的，不是不会出现的，还是会哦。OK， 好，再来名词子句的开头的第一个字要写什么？3种可能。
名词子句的开头。
对呀。If I say I wonder, it's not always 100% you're going to say I wonder whether. If your teacher is saying something and you don't know about it, so you can say, oh, I wonder what the teacher said. It doesn't necessarily to be I wonder whether. Okay? So if you're telling people about different ideas, then you should start your noun clause with different words. So what are the different words? That is something I want you to think about. Okay? For example, I wonder whether means that you are not sure about something, right? And you can also start the sentence by using the WH words. I wonder what the teacher said. I wonder what is on the desk. Alright? I wonder who the girl is. I wonder whether she likes me or not. You can tell people about very different kind of idea of what you are thinking. Okay, so we can start by WH words, who or where or what, just depends on what you want to say. Okay? What about this one? The most common one is this one. That. And remember one thing, the difference is that it is followed by a very complete statement. Okay? Alright, however, this one, it could be followed by a subject or a verb. It also could be the Danish word is served the subject. So this is the most important thing. These are the three, 1, 2, 3, the three conjunctions that leave a noun clause. Okay? And for most of the time, they will appear as an object, as a subject. So it means that could be here, it could be here. What the teacher said could be here, it could be here. Okay? For example, what the teacher said is really important. What the teacher said just inspired me. Okay, so there are so many different kinds of combination, but you have to think about it when it's time to use which to tell your ideas about something. Okay, so far so good. All right. Any question before we move on about the clauses? 最难学的子句。
名词子句，它不是从国中就开始学的吗？名词子句不是从国中就开始学的？
对啊，可是国中的时候你们就真的懂吗？还是你们是硬背句型？我不知道，你们那时候。
不都是在带着的通用，带着真的超通用哎。
是的，这个就是英文讨厌的地方啊。你 OK 吗？啊，有没有哪一个观念刚刚那个不是很清楚？还行哈，哦，很好 ，OK。易凯嘞，还可以吗？不行来问我哈，好。Okay, we're going to move on to the next one is the past perfect tense. The second one we're going to talk about is the past perfect. So before we move on, we can think about it. When is the time that you are going to use past perfect tense? And what is the difference between past simple tense and past perfect tense? When is time to use which? That is something you can think about it. Because it also bewildered a lot of students. Many students probably don't know what is the past perfect tense and what is the use for. Okay? So first of all, you should understand what does the past perfect tense look like. Okay? What does it look like? So I had already given to you. Over here is that you write down a subject. And then if I say, I watched TV, oh, it's not a past perfect tense, right? It's only a past simple tense. If I say, I am watching TV, it's a present continuous. So what exactly does a past perfect tense look like? It must be a had. Always had. And then past. Yeah, that's right. Participle. Okay? Had is pattern. So whenever you see this kind of sentence pattern, this is what we call past perfect tense. This part over here, had is past participle, is past perfect tense. Okay? So, there's one thing. What do they mean? What does this mean? Is it perfect, right? This is perfect, right? Okay. So what does it mean? Perfect. I believe you know the meaning of perfect, right? What does it mean? Perfect. Oh, you did a report and your teacher said, oh, you did a perfect job. Yeah, that's right. Superb. Very, very good. No glitch at all. No glitch. Glitch means a very tiny mistake. I cannot even see a tiny mistake. Oh, it's perfect, right? Okay, so this word means perfect. Well, why does it mean perfect? Why? Because, remember I told you this is f, right? When you're pronouncing the term f, do you remember what this is? This is your lips, teeth, tongue, ulava. Open up your mouth, this is ulava over there. Okay? If you put your finger in your ulava, you're going to vomit. Don't do that. Okay? Alright, so when I draw this picture, because when it sounds it's very similar to b, p. When you read b, p, m, f, it's very similar to the form, right? But it's what we call bilabial. Bilabial means that you use your lips, both your lips. You put your lips together, and then the air came out. And it's voiceless, means that your voice box is not moving. All right. So if I stand very, very far away and I say, do you know what I said? You cannot hear me, right? When you cannot hear me, you can only read my lips. So when I say, it could be b or it could be p, right? 你是想说你不会猜是不是？我的魔术现在根本做到不休息。
我刚有猜对吗？
我根本没有，我不知道我要讲什么，我只是把那个嘴型做出来而已。What about this one? Are you sure? 你念 m 不要出声，然后那 b 不要出声，嘴型不是一模一样？
那一模一样啊。
你念 b 跟 m 嘴型没有一模一样。b m， 你那我都不要出声，我先念这个，我念这三个。啊，不是嘴型都一模一样，你回去照镜子自己念。
就不一样，不一样。
对，不一样但很接近。
差很多。
对，你会觉得差很多，对不对？来，我问你，中文1、2、3，台语怎么讲？技能杀，对，像不像？
啊？
像不像？
不像啊。
你是不是觉得差很多？对吧？这一样意思啊。这一样意思，你看到光是中文是不是各个地方有各个地方的方言？那你说实在的，音有没有差很多？有嘛？因为各个地方讲话，每一个地方习性不一样，讲话就不一样，虽然讲一样的东西嘛，但是久了音就跑掉了。所以这个看起来你会觉得差很多，但是是正常的，合不合理？韩国人讲1、2、3，韩国的3怎么讲？那个三星的手，三星的那个什么？什么送？神送来1、2、3，对不对？我们是3，技能杀3，像不像？日文1、2、3，是不是都很像？但是其实有点都不大一样。所以英文这个语系在欧洲中古世纪的时候都讲拉丁文。你记不记得莎士比亚他写的4大名著，对不对？他用什么语言写的？英文。因为在那之前没有英文，都只有拉丁文，所以他为了要去彰显他们的民族意识，他故意从拉丁文，他们就从拉丁文演化出了英文了。所以欧洲语系里有很多都从拉丁文来的，所以他们的语言从拉丁文的字根就会开始切换到他们的语系里面了。所以 这个拉丁文的意思就是 make， 因为这个 f 是不是可以跟 m 转音？啊，可跟这个不是一样吗？对不对？所以这个就是 make。啊，这个 per 就是 thorough 的意思，彻底的意思。你再想一想 ，perfect 为什么叫完美？因为你把事情做得超彻底，那还能够不完美吗？知道意思吗？好，来，所以这个字就出现了 ，ef 这个字就是 ex， 就是 out 的意思。所以这是做出来的，叫做效果。OK， 这不就是名词效果？让它变成形容词，哦，你做事的效果很好哦，所以就是你的什么？就是刚刚那个字有，这样知道字怎么背了吗？
这种 per 是彻底。
对 ，per 这个字根是 thorough 这个字根，虽然这两个没有声音上的关系，对，但是它就是这个字就是代表 thorough 的意思。字根大部分都有，可是前缀不见得会。这个叫前缀，这叫字根。前缀就是写在前面的，啊，后缀就是写在后面的。什么 IVE？ 你要常常看 IVE 哈，IVE 就形容词结尾，可以吗 ？FUL、IVE、OUS 都是后缀，它可能不是从这个嘴型上面变化来的，跟前缀一样。但是他们就是会让它改变 part of speech， 改变词性的问题。这样知道我意思哈？好，所以说这个就是有效率。OK， 来3个字一起把它记一下，好不好？这个没有太复杂的东西在里面，你尽量从你已知，你告诉自己为什么叫完美的，然后你就会学到其他的词。
努力是叫 effort。
再来一次。
努力的英文是 effort。
再一次。
努力的英文。
effort。啊，那不同字根。你的那个字是长这样 ，OK？
长得好像哦。对呀。
在这个字完全不一样。你知道那个美国有一个很有名的汽车牌子 ，F 开头 B 结尾的 ，Ford。福特汽车有没有 ？OK？Ford 就是力量的意思，因为美国人就喜欢大马力的车子。所以它的马力都做得很，车子都做得很有力 ，Ford 就是力量的意思。这不是 out 吗 ？OK， 你再看一次，出口前面2个字母是这样，上面那个小绿人是 EX， 所以这个本来是 EX， 可是 X 念完再念 F 不好念，这个情况叫做同音化。OK 哈，所以这里其实本来是应该是 EX 就是 out 的意思。啊，你都用很多力气出来了，你还不努力啊
？EX 不是性别吗 ？X， 那叫 sex。
哦。你再讲一次。等。你说 EX 是性别？
是 S， 是 X。EX
等一下 ，SEX 是性别或者是性，对。然后 EX 用来表示人际关系的前任，而不是职位的前任哦。对 ，ex girlfriend、ex wife， 可是没有 ex mayor 哦。mayor 什么知不知道？mayor 是市长的意思。你要 former， 市长跟你不是人际关系的，它是职位上面的。职位，前任总统我跟你怎样吗？没有说可以吃饭。你老婆跟你睡觉嘛？你老婆跟你有人际关系啊？这种前任的男女之间关系，这种前任的 ，OK？ 市长没有跟你有关系。
说明市长就是我前任。
哦，那你这个就有意思了，那你就 ex-former。OK， 好，这个是职位上面的那个，你讲的是这个啦，前任的。OK， 啊，不大一样。那我这个是 EX 是 out 的意思。就像进出口怎么说？港口叫做 port， 所以在里面叫什么？所以本来是 IN 对不对？IN 念完念 P 不好念。对，所以就变 N 了，因为这2个是不是就是我刚刚讲的？
很像。
那你念 N， 因为嘴巴不闭嘛， 所以它为了让它好念嘛，它的 I N 就变 I N， 知道意思了吗？所以这个就变成进口啊，这个呢，就是你刚刚念那个字啊，它就不会出口，从港口进来，从港口出去了，就不用背啦，知道意思了哈？这些就是字根的知识，就是你刚刚讲的那个effort， 这个是不同字根，所以你后来又背到一个字叫 force 就是 fort， 它就是力量，所以 force somebody to do something。
用我的力量，
就逼迫我用力量去叫你做某件事情，那就逼迫了。这样会更清楚知道那些字到底怎么背的 ，OK 吗？好，你可能会比较清楚一点。OK， 好，我们快速的跟你解释一下 past perfect tense。好，这我删掉了哈。So this is the past perfect tense. This is what it looks like. Here comes the question: When is the time that you should use perfect tense to tell people about something? What is the idea that you want to tell people? When is the time they're going to use it? It's very similar to present perfect tense. What is the present perfect tense? Present. Yeah, it's very similar. But what is the difference?
为什么他完全要用 perfect？
OK， 来，这个叫做做，对不对？这是做的彻底。所以一开始的时候，可能只是要表达说，我这个动作到底做了没？你是不是已经彻底做好了？所以可能会加已经。我要强调说，我这个动作已经做完了，或者是我这个动作还没做完，我这个动作刚做完，或者是我这个动作持续了多久，或者是我这个动作的经验。所以你看到完成式，其实只要叫做完成式的东西，它可能有3种含义。第一个，这个动作你做了没？完成了没？第二个，你到底这个动作做了多久？你可以跟我讲一下。第三个，你这个动作到底做了几次？只要被定义完成式的东西，都有可能代表这3个意思。这你要先知道的一件事。但是如果你要叫它现在完成持续经验式，那个名字太长了，所以就叫它什么式？完成式。它完成为什么用 perfect 这个字？因为这个字的本身字根是指做的意思。它告诉你这个动作到底完成了，做完了没？可以理解了吗 ？Okay, so if you really know what I'm saying, so there are 3 possibilities that we're going to use a perfect tense. And the difference between this is present, this is past. So if you're going to tell me from a past time until a later past time, or from a past time until now, this is what I call present perfect tense. This is a past perfect tense. Now you know the difference? 现在完成跟过去完成的差别在哪里？它是指从过去到现在的这段时间。过去完成是指过去到过去的这一段时间，可以接受吗？可以哈，好，来，所以通常它就是指在某个时间的区段。至于现在或过去，是指它的截止点，它时间，它不是起点哦，这是指时间的结束的时候。所以换句话说，过去完成式到过去就结束了，现在完成式是指一直到什么时候？
现在。
那未来完成式呢？你要到未来了 ，OK 吗？也有未来完成式。
什么时候可以用到未来？
有啊，比如说，等到我考上大学，等到我考上大学的时候，到那个时候，我爸爸妈妈会早就已经退休了。
未来完成是什么？
那爸妈退休时间是不是要在未来，他才会完成退休这个动作？那就未来完成式了。这样知道了哈？好 ，OK。所以这个就是3个之间的差别。
那为什么不用未来？
再一次。
为什么不用未来？未来时。
我可以啊。那你要强调到未来这个时间。你要强调在我 结婚生子的时候，我爸爸妈妈早就已经退休5年了。我要强调，早就已经了 ，OK 吗？你可以说到那个时候，我爸妈就会退休了。可是我不知道你爸爸妈妈已经退休了
几年？
几年了？如果你要强调说已经这么久了 ，OK？ 好，这是第一个哈，现在完成时跟过去完成。第二个，当你要表达两个同样发生在过去的动作，这个动作比较早，这个动作比较早的用什么？比较晚的用什么？OK？ 这就是这两个差别。你也可以表达用过去式。你写比较早那个写海德加 PP 是强调的用法。
最主要是一个早一个晚，所以就是要把它分母数。
对，比较早的那个就是过去完成。你也可以写过去式也可以，只是你写过去完成，人家会更清楚的知道。OK？ 好，然后你注意一下它的连接词。There are 3 possibilities. We can use the term when, or before, or by the time that. By the time that means before, okay? And then somebody did something. Will you see the sentence pattern? Will you see the sentence pattern? This action happened earlier. This action happened later. Alright? That's what it means.
那不能把比较晚的放在前面吗？
哦，你这家伙脑袋真灵光。如果我写这样，可以，可以，但是这3个字，哎，对，改成。谢谢，这个真是厉害。因为这个比较早，在这个人做了这个动作之后，这件事发生，可以改出去哦。连接词要换掉。来写一下，想不到你会问这个问题。对，
因为今天没事没写，所以难。很感谢简龙辛苦，不是我失恋。对啊。
So if you finish the question, you finish the notes over here. We are going to take a look at the first example. All right. The students finished the group discussion at 8:50 a.m. The teacher showed up at 9 a.m. 来，一凯，我要问你喽，这个叫现在。来，你看那个句子第一题哦，老师出现的时间点是什么时候？老师出现的时间点是8:50还是9点？谢谢你。学生完成他们的分组讨论是几点？8:50。来，你看一下，这两个哪一个比较早？谢谢。所以等一下比较早的要写什么事？过去完成。OK， 所以就是要写的 had 加 PP 哦。啊，比较晚的就写什么？过去式。这样我概念了吗？挑战看看。Think about it how you are going to construct a sentence over here. Because students finish their discussion first. 我红好了吗？ 来，那你试试看报告的答案，我听听看对不对？因为我有时候要讲的太快，我怕你会跟不上。哎，你说。The student finished 还是 had finished？ 因为是不是比较早？比较早的那一个，记得要写成这个形态 ，OK？ 所以应该是 the student had finished their group discussion， 对不对？Finish their group discussion
before the teacher showed up.
Very good. Before the teacher showed up. 后面就不用改了哈，因为老师不需要我的出现。So before the teacher showed up， 后面的 showed up 你只要写过去式就可以了。Okay. Alright, so that's the first example here. 再跟你们确认一下，这里面有出现一个字，叫做讨论，怎么说 ？Discussion. Discussion is the noun form of the word discuss. To discuss something means to talk about something. This is also a very, very important word. It means to talk about something, all right? And this term, if you see ION, it will become a noun. So discussion is the noun form. Okay? And also the term show up means to appear. Do you know what appear means? Appear means to be in your sight. Yeah, that's right, okay? And another term is very similar, is show off. Yeah, that's right, very good, thank you. Okay, so we'll finish the sentence up here. We're going to take a look at the second example here. All the passengers were rescued first. The ambulance arrived later. So do you know what ambulance is? 谢谢你，救护车。你们小时候有没有看过一个卡通叫做玻璃？
那不是我们时代的呗。
屁啦！
对啊，
玻璃呢？
不是我们时代的。
没听过？
玻璃不是警察。
对，玻璃就是一个警车会变机器人。
那不是我们时代
那你还有看过？那里面有一个粉红色的叫安保。安保是什么车？
救护车。
为什么它叫安保？
ambulance
因为就是这个是 ambulance 的前面啊，那个直升机叫什么？绿色那一只，对不对？它在那个玻璃这个卡通里面，它叫什么？
不知道。
闪电麦克比较熟的
你是闪电麦克年代哦。
没有找。
来，你念完这个字，你就知道它是什么了。
哈利波特。
我的哈利，还是滑豆哎，它叫鹤立。你现在知道是什么？因为叫什么？那台直升机 helicopter 直升机，所以它的那个片中曲比较鹤 ，OK 吗？不是吗？
我们年代的。
那你在看什么 ？Ben 田小班，不是？那你们看什么？你们到底看什么？
飞哥与小佛。
飞哥与小佛，哦，这个我有看过，还有嘞，还有什么？啊？他说什么？
他说有很多。
有很多，举个例子来讲。
少年悍将。
少年悍将有，想起来了，这你们年代的，
为什么你们知道？那时候讲好久。
为什么你讲我就知道 ？OK， 好，有时候陪我小孩子看，好吧，来，我们看这一题哈。All the passengers were rescued. Do you remember what rescue mean? That's right, very good. And they were rescued means that they are not the agent. Okay? Do you know what agent means? Agent means that it is someone who is conducting the action and is agent. For example, he hit me. In the sentence, he is the agent. He is the agent means that he is someone who did the action, hit. So that's the agent. 字面上叫做代理，就是他就是发出那个动作的人。But if I say I was hit by him, I am not the agent. OK？ 好，所以这个句子哦，有答案了吗？来，雨桐这一题交给你。用 by the time that 来合并。
All the passenger had
Rescued.
rescued.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Edward.
Yeah， 童心有偷偷告诉你答案了。你有听到吗？
没有。
那他偷偷告诉我。All the passengers 是不是要写 had 加 PP？
对啊，
啊，你真的傻傻的写 had 加 PP 哦？
那里有 word，
这主动，
嗯，
乘客救了还是被救？
被救。
那你要 had been， 这样子才是乘客被解救，或者是被动。你写 had 加 PP 是主动。All the passengers had been rescued. By the time that the ambulance arrived. Okay. 那什么 first later 啊？对，因为我就已经让你知道前后顺序了。啊，就像刚刚第一题的那个8:50，那个9点就没有意义了，对不对？因为你都知道哪个比较早，哪个比较晚。好，第3题，来，易凯交给你。Sam refused to see the Avengers with us because he blanked it already. 易凯，你有看过这部电影吗？叫做复仇者联盟，有看过吗？好，那 refuse, do you know what refuse mean? Refuse. If you refuse somebody, you know, sometimes it's really difficult to refuse somebody. To refuse somebody means to say no to somebody, especially when he or she is your good friend. Then it's probably not easy for you.
最好的朋友最好拒绝。
真的吗？就是因为很好才不好意思拒绝啊。
不会啊，
不会啊，
我说的才会不好。
对你这样讲也有道理哦。OK， 好，所以 refuse 实际上就把它拒绝的意思。Sam 拒绝看那个复仇者联盟，为什么？一开为什么？为什么？因为答对了，因为他以前已经看过了。那你觉得答案要选几？博宏，你认为 C 吗？
类似的，它不是第三人称。
对，他第三人称单数说以前 S， 对不对？
对。
可是看一下下 ，has 加 PP， 那叫做现在完成时。had 加 PP 是过去完成。如果你们真的不大会用完成式，老师建议你在旁边画一个这样子的图。OK， 这叫现在。你去想一个问题了，这个句子是说 ，Sam 拒绝跟我们去看，对不对？因为他之前已经看过了，对不对？好，所以问题是在于说，我怎么样把拒绝这个动作跟看过复仇者这个动作 标示在这个图的上面。一凯 ，Sam 拒绝跟我们去看哦，因为他已经看过，所以你觉得已经看过要标左边还是标右边？
左边。
谢谢你，因为他已经看过了，所以他后来他就拒绝我了。所以这个图画出来之后，你就会知道啦，因为它 refuse 加 be 也是过去式嘛，也就是两个发生在过去的动作，比较早的要写现在完成吗？要写什么？过去完，要写 had 加 be 哦。写 have or has 那是只持续到现在。我这样子图解有比较知道吗？
有。
好 ，OK。所以第一题好像要像雨桐所说，对不对？应该把那个 has 变成 had， 对不对 ？OK。好，第二题，雨桐你来翻翻看。Amy told me that she broke up with Ray the previous month.
我想他是被分手还是他自己分手？如果这样的话，这两个选择就不一样了，因为他被分手不就是 had been， 然后加 对吧？
你直觉，你有听过？你会这样讲哦？后面一个 with 是什么意思？
汉呢？
汉那怎么翻译？加汉吗？中文。我昨天和我女朋友
分手。
你会我昨天和我女朋友被分手吗？
哎，我刚刚也在想这个。
真的？等一下，我有问题。我昨天和我女朋友被分手，好怪哦。啊，你如果只有说我被分手，
哦，
是不是？可是没有汉哦。
被分手。
我知道你的意思了，你现在讲说我被分手了，就是我被甩掉的意思，对不对？可是你应该不会讲我和我女朋友被分手，应该是我跟我女朋友分手了。
还有说那个有三个。
而且我跟你讲，你如果被甩掉有没有？你会换一组字 ，somebody， I was dumped， 什么意思？
被分手。
对 ，dump 这个是动词，倒垃圾的倒。
丢掉。
对，丢掉。对 ，I was dumped， 就是中文，我被人家怎么样？我被甩掉了。你把我逗一顿说了，那我该抢我。OK 吗？那课本上是写 break up with somebody 啊，这个有 with 哦，对不对？那 A break up with B， 那是指 A 和 B 两个人就分开了，对不对？所以是 A 和 B 分手，所以是主动哦，好不好？笔记写一下啊。I was dumped， 我被甩掉了。我这个比较像是你们刚才讲的，我被分手，对，那是被动。OK， 我被分手是这样子哦。啊，如果你写 A break up with B， 你都已经把 with B 写出来了，那是和 B 的概念，那代表 A 跟 B 分手的意思。OK。
你不要选 had broken。had broken， 国宏，你同意吗？你同意吗？
同意。
他说第四题要写 had broken，
因为他比那个啊，他告诉他说还要走啊。
啊，对，来你再看一下第二题变这样，你看哦 ，told TOLD 是不是过去式？对不对？他跟我讲的时候，他分手了没？他已经分手啦，所以那你不就应该是 had broken 吗？这样是不是就符合这个比较早？他跟我说的时候已经分手了。
但是他是其实有预期性的要分手。哦，这个要另外一回事。
我们想太多。好，第五题 ，I finished my homework at 8 p.m. 10 minutes later, Mom came back. I blamed my homework by the time Mom blank home. 一凯，你觉得答案是？ 你先想题目的叙述，到底是妈妈先回来，还是我先写完功课？这个题目。对，做一些写完，所以比较早的动作要写什么？然后再加 PP， 比较晚的就写过去式就好了。所以你的答案最有可能该选什么？
C。
谢谢你，这样懂了吗 ？OK 好，这样知道怎么判断喽，很好，今天大家表现都非常好。来，后面有15题，我们就来挑战一下喽，好不好？啊，把这15题把它写完了。可能加油哦，加油哦！ OK， 那个时钟看没有？还是没电池？5点，现在5:28。下礼拜除了考完试的，老师希望你们还是都来哦。就是你们需要要去那叫什么补课嘛，对不对？要补那个廉价的课。好，我们还是这样6点到8点要全部过来啊。 写完了吗？刚好。可以了啊。来，我对一下答案哦。来，博宏，你1到5是什么？
C C C
再一次，
C C C
恭喜你全对。来，1到5 C C C B B。雨桐，你有没有到10嘞？
C B B 猪猪
再一次，
C B B 猪猪。
你只错一题。红心呢？
你说6到10。
对，
C A B 猪猪。
你对了，C A B 猪猪。来，一凯11到15
C A 除 A 除。
，C A 猪 A 猪你只错一题。国宏呢？
C C 除 A 除。
对，C C 猪 A 猪。来，一题10分，然后满分150，我来打一下分数，然后看一下你有没有什么问题要问。好，150，满分150，一题10分。今天几号？
是吧？
是哦，
过好快。什么？时间过很快。对。现在都要断考了。我在想面对，就每年到了3月就是非常不想面对的时候。
你有几分
140。
？140，然后一凯100，波红呢？再一次140，红心呢？150，哇，你好强！红心你的铜是哪一个铜？
一个单。
我上次帮你打错了，你帮我改一下。铜，好，不问了。然后作业我们要写后面第几页？上次好像写到题主几啊？题主5，那今天写6到13，下次要来哦，哦，对，抱歉，那
现在上的是几页
好，一样6到8。
？6到8页。
对，题主6到13。OK， 好，来，我先解决一下您的问题，哪一题要问？第几题？快快。第7 ，Instead of saying I'm late, Yan went straight to bed after he got home, knowing he could stay energetic at work the next day. 好，来，首先这里你要先知道一个月考很常出现的片语，叫做 instead of。What does it mean instead of? Instead of something, usually you talk about that something you intended to do, it is followed by instead of. Okay, that is something you want to do in the very first place. I'll give you some example. For example, if I said I watched a video instead of going to a movie. So think about the sentence. What does the writer want to say about the sentence is that he wanted to go to a movie in the first place, in the beginning. Okay? However, maybe it started to rain, or maybe he didn't want to see the movie, he didn't want to go out, so he stayed home and watched a video. So in this case, he intended to see a movie. However, he didn't do that. He just stayed home and watched the video. So you can say, I watched the video instead of going to a movie. And also you can put instead of in the beginning of a sentence by saying instead of going to a movie, comma, I stayed home. I watched the video. Right? I watched the video. Now, do you get a picture? Okay, and also there is a possibility that you didn't give information on what you intend to do in the beginning. So you can also say, oh, I watched the video instead. Because maybe the listener already know that you wanted to see a movie. So there is no need for you to give such detail about you wanted to do in the first place. So you can say, I watched the video instead. Means that the listener already know that, okay, you want to see a movie. Oh, okay, now we change the video. The same thing happened over here. You can say instead, comma, I watched the video. Okay, so this is a very important term, and you can often see it in the text. So please write it down. 这个很重要，稍微写一下哈。Instead 跟 instead of 的用法 ，instead 是副词 ，instead of 是介系词，不是连接词哦。所以后面你会看到用动名词的方式来呈现它。OK， 你要么就写到 instead of， 你要么就讲 instead 就好了，不告诉对方原本你要干嘛。那如果告诉对方要给更多的资讯，那就是 instead 就不少。这是第一个你要知道的。And also there's another question that when Shakespeare after he got home, so that he could stay energy. Okay? So what does it mean, so that? Okay? I'll give you an example so you can understand what I'm saying. For example, I keep early hours. So I think this is a complete sentence, right? You can say I keep early hours like every day. And of course you can figure out, do you know what keep early hours mean? Keep early hours. Keep early hours means that you go to bed early, yeah, and you also get up early. Yeah, that's right, okay? So the sentence simply say, I keep early hours. That's a complete sentence, right? However, you can give me more information on why you are keeping early hours. Is there a specific reason you want to do this? So how are you going to offer me this kind of information? Think about it. How are you going to do it? Maybe the reason is that you want to stay healthy. Okay? So if your reason is you want to stay healthy, so how are you going to give me this kind of information? There are many different ways for you to do that. Okay? One of the easiest way is that you can say, I keep early hours in order to stay healthy. So you can simply use in order to do something. In order to stay healthy, okay? Or another way for you to do is that I keep early hours so as to stay healthy. Okay? But if it's the sentence level, I can stay healthy. What is the difference between this one and the previous one? In the first and the second one, I only give you the information about an action is to stay healthy. But if it is a sentence level, then you can use so that I can stay healthy. So in the three examples over here, in order can be omitted. Omit, you can omit in order. Omit means that you do not write it down. Okay? You simply forget about it. So in the second case over here, you can also omit so as. But if you come to a sentence level, there is a necessity for you to write down so that you cannot omit it. So all the three different terms are giving me people the reason why you are doing this. It's showing your purpose. Do you know what purpose is? Yeah, that's right, exactly. These are the words to tell people about your purpose, why you are doing something. Okay? Alright, 好，那这三个笔记也写一下吗？当然还有别的写法，你还可以把它写成 in the hope of doing something, because you hope to do it. Okay, so there are so many different ways for you to talk about it. Okay, so I keep early hours means that you go to bed early, you get up early. Of course, you can say, I go to bed early and get up early. But you use too many words. English, they want you to be more concise. You know the idea of concise. Concise means that to keep something simple and short. And people can understand exactly what you're talking about. Alright? 精简. Okay, so I keep it hours to stay healthy. So the same thing happened over here in question number 7. Instead of staying up late. And oh, I forgot to tell you about something is that, what does it mean, stay up late? Thank you very much. If you stay up late and you were studying, if you want to tell people why you are studying late, you can say, stay up late doing something. Remember to use the general form here, okay? So instead of staying up late, he went straight to bed after he got home so that he could stay energized at work the next day. So stay energized. What does it mean, energized? Do you know the term? Yeah, that's right. It starts from the word energy. Okay? Energy 就是能量的意思。Okay? Energized 就是充满能量的。Alright? Okay? So that's all we have from here in this question. This is question. Oh, there's also one thing. What is the difference between the next day and next day? Do you know the difference? The next day and the next day. What about tomorrow? What is the difference between tomorrow and the next day? I want you to think about it. Yeah. This is now, right? Okay? So, if this is today, this is definitely tomorrow. Okay? Next day does not necessarily mean tomorrow. It could be this is the next day of this day. Maybe this is next Monday. So that's the next day, right? That's the next day. So it could be, but it doesn't necessarily to be tomorrow, you know what I mean, right? Okay? And if you're talking about something happened in the past, this is what we call the next day. Now you see the picture, it's very clear, right? Next day, the next day. The next day is used to describe a past event. You know, event. Yeah, so it's used to describe a past event. And next day is used to describe a future event. But it doesn't necessarily to be tomorrow, right? Next Monday, I will go to Japan. Next day. The next day is not tomorrow, right? Making sense? Okay. Now you know what I mean. So, any other question? So we have question number 7 solved. Let's take a look at question number 8. Do you understand the meaning of it? Whether you are the president of a country or a street vendor, you will be punished if you break the law or if you violate the law. So what does it mean, president? Very good. Okay, president is the leader of the country. It comes from the word preside. Okay? Preside is a verb. President. A president is someone who presides everything in a country. Everybody listens to him. So he is the president. Just like in a company, if you are the president of the company, it means that everybody in the company has to listen to you. Then you are the president of the company. OK？ 所以公司里面我们就不分总统了，公司里面叫总裁。OK？ 这样知道意思了哈？董事长。
可以翻董事长。
董事长通常我们会形容说他是坐在椅子上的人。Chairman， 或者是the chairman of DPP or the chairman of KMT。
什么DPP 是什么
Yeah, DPP. You don't know DPP is? You. Yeah, DPP.
我们只知道 CEO。对。
Okay, Chief Executive Officer, but in Taiwan, there are two major political parties. Two major political parties in Taiwan.
哦，党哦。
Yeah. 它就是派对那个 party 哦。它有党派的意思哦。Okay? So, two major political parties in Taiwan. One is Pen Blue, the other is Pen Green. 泛蓝泛绿会讲哦。Pen Blue, Pen Green. Pen Green is KMT. Pen Blue is KMT. And Pen Green is DPP. It stands for Democratic Progressive Party. What is it? 民进党的原文是什么？民主进步党。
国民党。
对，你有没有发现就是国民党？就像那个，来，大陆的货币叫什么？
人民币。
人民币。
对，他不是光靠那人民币英文哦，RMB。
就 RMB 啊 ，OK。
然后我们有一个打招呼，那就叫 Panda。
好 ，OK， 好来，所以这个是 president。Whether you're the president of a country or a street vendor, what is a street vendor? Do you know the word vend?
投票。
No， 投票是 vote。对，答对了，摊贩的意思。OK，VEND means to sell. So in your school, I don't know, sometimes you can see vending machines. It's a machine, and you can choose maybe which drinks or which snacks you want, and then you slot your coins inside, and then you press the button, you get your drink. So it's a vending machine. How do you say that in Chinese? Yeah, 自动贩卖机啊，这个就叫做 vending machine。记得这个是贩卖，所以 vendor 就是小贩的意思。Do you have a vending machine in your school? Really? Do you know what a vending machine can sell in different countries?
我知道在日本可以卖米拉面的。
Oh, good.
日本的贩售机。
Yeah, in Japan, there are all kinds of vending machines. You can even buy vegetables. Yeah, a lot of different things. And the most expensive thing you can buy in a vending machine, guess what it is?
最贵的。
Yeah, a vending machine. The most expensive thing you can buy in a vending machine.
我之前好像有看过有人就是用卖那个相亲介绍那个资讯，然后再投在贩卖机里面。 这个机会卖包包，
包包不够大。
哦，那个啦，杜拜的那个卖金条的，
Gold nuggets， 金块。我在觉得上面是一个金块一个金块啊，这个金块20万，好刷卡，太有钱了。金块还不是最贵的哦。新加坡还有，它那个贩卖机是一整栋大楼那么大的一个贩卖机。
他卖什么？
猜猜看，什么东西要用到？答对了。All kinds of sports car. Oh, Lamborghini, I like it. 很夸张啊！
好像有看过。
好啊，来。So let's move on to the next one up here. 好像你都知道啦，不管你是总统还是贩夫走卒，对不对？啊，那么，Yeah, that's right. Punish 处罚惩罚的意思。If you break the law, if you don't follow the law, right? So that's question number 8. Any other question? 还有哪题吗？第15题快速跟你解释一下，因为可能还是有个地方你不大会。第15题有一个片语叫做不得不，还有一个字。Yeah, that had no choice but 这个片语稍微画成一下 ，means that you cannot help yourself do it, alright？ 而且它只要怎么样不定词啊 ，OK。然后还有比较特别，哪一个说？
我的数是会用在什么
would 只加 do 吗？
就是 would 会用在什么？
哦 would 可以用在好多地方。Usually, if you want to be polite, yeah, polite, yeah, that's right. So you can use the term would like instead of want. For example, do you want some coffee? In a more polite way, you can say, would you like some coffee? Okay, so would like, would love means the same thing. Would love to do something. Or you can say, would like to do something. Okay, it's much more polite way for you to express that by asking that someone want to do something. And also would can go with rather. Would rather do something. However, you're going to use the reflexive form. For example, it's raining outside. You don't want to go outside, but your friend keeps asking you to go outside. And they say, oh, it's raining. I would rather stay home. Think about it. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So I would rather stay home means I don't want to do that. I would rather do this. This is that something I prefer to do. Okay. Oh, if you talk about time, it's like this. This is now. This is will. This is would. Just like can, could. Will, would.
这还是过去式的意思。
Yeah, that's right. 它除了有比较委婉 euphemism 的说法，它也可以表示过去的未来。
过去的未来。
Yeah, I went to Japan on February 2nd. The next day, I would go to the USA. We're talking about something happened in the past, but it is the next day. The next day, contrary to the time you went to Japan, is a future tense. So we're going to use would. You're not going to use will over here. Okay? Just like if you say, I cannot ride a bike when I was 10 years old. There's something wrong. Because you cannot say, I cannot ride a bike. If you say I cannot ride, it means I cannot ride a bike right now.
所以在描述的时候，我那个人是在现在。
Yeah, that's right. So if you say, you should say, I couldn't ride a bike when I was 10 years old. It's very similar to the difference between will and the would. All right? Okay, good. Any other questions? 还有别的问题吗？如果都没有的话，我们就要让你们上去写那个哦。哇，上次写到哪里了？第3还没写。
没写，但是第3课
3还没写哦，那今天就写3，好不好？单字，你们如果只写单字，会不会时间会来得及吗？如果单字跟第3课，我比较想
写单字啊，
先写单字，
先写单字，
那就先写单字。
我们单字
一起写会来不及，对不对？而且我希望你们要背了再写哦，你不要拿起来傻傻的，中文就是这样子写，这样也不行，好不好？最好背一下再写了啊，不然说考分数啊，写完一定要把分数传。然后下个礼拜除了你考完的，你考完还是可以过来哦，好不好？你又没事，你一样来嘛，对不对？反正就是我们英文就是没范围就对了，好吧？只是说月考还是要稍微准备一下，那你考完就继续加强。那就是下礼拜还是要我们在一样6点到8点，好不好？放学就过来吧，好，带便当过来就可以。哎，有问题记得赖里面啊，
这关不掉。我也是回家宕机耶，你看。
真的吗？
因为它按不下去，会不会？可是它有录到。
它有跑啊。
那所以要把它划掉吗？会不会不见？
我不会用啊。
关掉就好。
怎么？你们有谁有 i？